NYC.gov, and I hope I'll see you soon in beautiful Prospect Park.
Hi, this is Sanitation Commissioner John Doherty. Please use street litter baskets for your candy wrappers, fast food containers, empty coffee cups, for everything except recyclables. Remember, never use litter baskets for garbage from your home or business. That's not what they are there for. Above all, don't litter. For more information on how you can help keep New York City clean, call 311. Let's work together to keep our streets clean.
Hi, this is Vincent Schiraldi, Commissioner at the New York City Department of Probation. Did you know that state law prohibits unfair discrimination against job applicants with a criminal conviction? Did you also know that the city has taken special steps to ensure that job applicants with a criminal conviction are treated fairly? It's true. For example, there are many job postings where city agencies are prohibited from asking about an applicant's criminal history before or during the first interview. So don't let your past define your future. Consider applying for a job with the city or one of our hundreds of partners. To find out more about what this change in policy means for you, visit nyc.gov.
Hi, I'm Rob Walsh, Commissioner of Small Business Services. If your small business was impacted by Hurricane Sandy, the city is ready to help. We have an emergency loan providing up to $25,000. We can also help businesses apply for federal assistance to up to $2 million. And there are other ways we can help. If your business has been displaced, we can set up free temporary space. And we could also assist in answering insurance questions or replace permits lost during the storm. For more information, go to nyc.gov, call 311, or visit a business solutions center located in any of the 5 boroughs.
This is Mayor Mike Bloomberg. Remember to dial 311 for all New York City government services and information.
Hi, I'm Seth Diamond, Commissioner of New York City's Department of Homeless Services. Homeless Services can connect you or someone you know who is at risk of homelessness to the DHS Home-Based Program, our one-stop for homelessness prevention, or one of our free law offices. We have over 30 service centers located in the 5 boroughs. To learn more about community-based prevention services that can help New Yorkers prevent eviction and avoid shelter, call 311 or visit nyc.gov.
Hi, I'm Deputy Mayor Carol Robles Roman. New York City is the safest big city in the nation, and we're leading a fight against human trafficking, a terrible crime where people can be forced or tricked into working in harsh conditions, often for no pay. If you are a victim or know someone who is, call 911. For more information, call 311 or go to www.nyc.gov. Let's call an end to human trafficking.
This is Sanitation Commissioner John Doherty, reminding you to leash and pick up after your dog. Be considerate to your fellow New Yorkers when walking your dog in the street or in a park. Obey the Pooper Scooper law and avoid a $250 fine. If we all do our part, we can keep New York City clean. Remember, be a responsible pet owner and always pick up after your dog.
I'm Kate Levin, Commissioner of the Department of Cultural Affairs. New York City is the creative capital of the world. Throughout the 5 boroughs, residents and visitors benefit from an extraordinary cultural community that includes more than 700 theater and dance companies, 650 galleries and museums, 96 orchestras, 24 performing arts centers, 5 zoos, 4 botanic gardens, and 1 aquarium. So take in an exhibition, see a performance, or visit a historic site. There's something for everyone, and it's all just around the corner.
You're listening to Radio NYC.
Hello, this is Commissioner Jimenez from the Mayor's Office to Combat Domestic Violence. People with disabilities are more likely to experience violence at the hands of an intimate partner. New Yorkers with disabilities should not feel alone. Support is available. In New York City, all victims of domestic violence, regardless of their language, immigration status, or disabilities, are offered services to help them regain control over their lives. If you or someone you know is being abused, please call 311 for help.
Hi, this is Dr. Tom Farley, New York City's Health Commissioner. One thing that all New Yorkers can do for their health is to know their HIV status. If you've had sex even once, you should get tested for HIV. If you're HIV positive, you can get medical care to help you feel better and live longer. If you're HIV negative, you can stay that way. Your regular healthcare provider can give you an HIV test. Free HIV tests are also available at health department clinics in all 5 boroughs. For clinic locations and hours, call 311 or visit nyc.gov.
Hi, I'm Adrienne Bailon. Having an official ID is one of the keys to success. Want to open a bank account? Apply for a job? Register for college soon? You'll need an official ID to do any of these things. Don't drive? Don't worry. You can get a non-driver state ID, and it only costs about $10. But in order to get an ID, there are a few things you'll need, and we're here to help. Go to nyc.gov and click on or search ID to get started.
This is Mayor Mike Bloomberg. Remember to dial 311 for all New York City government services and information.
Hola, me llamo Ana y trabajo en el Departamento de Asuntos al Consumidor. A veces puede ser abrumador para administrar su dinero, pero los centros de poder financieros de la ciudad pueden ayudarle a tomar control brindándole asesoramiento financiero profesional, gratuito e individual, ofrecido en toda la ciudad en diferentes idiomas. Nuestros consejeros pueden ayudar a reducir su deuda, preparar un presupuesto, abrir una cuenta bancaria segura y mucho más. Visite nyc.gov para encontrar el centro más cercano o llame al 311 para pedir una cita ya.
This is Carter Strickland, Environmental Protection Commissioner for New York City. A fire hydrant is a familiar sight in the city. There are more than 109,000 of them citywide. Summer in New York can be hot, but please don't open fire hydrants to cool off unless you have an approved spray cap. Illegally open hydrants can reduce the water pressure needed to fight fires and endanger people's lives. Instead, get a spray cap at your local firehouse or take advantage of the city's recreation centers, play streets, pools, and cooling centers. For more information on locations, call 311.
I'm Fatima Shama, Commissioner of the New York City Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs. New York City is home to people from more than 190 countries. They're our neighbors and co-workers and an essential part of the fabric that makes us the greatest city in the world. My office helps immigrants make New York City their home. In the wake of Hurricane Sandy, we continue to work to make sure that immigrant communities affected by the storm have access to services that will help them recover and rebuild their lives. To learn more, visit nyc.gov or contact 311.
You're listening to Radio NYC.
Hello, this is Allison Tachi, President of City Parks Foundation. This month, we're asking you to give back to your neighborhood parks and playgrounds on It's My Park Day. Hosted by Partnerships for Parks, It's My Park Day is a public-private partnership that brings together thousands of New Yorkers to rake, plant, clean, and paint in parks across the city. Events begin on May 4th and continue throughout the month. Visit nyc.gov to find out how you can get involved in It's My Park Day and other volunteer activities all year long.
Brooklyn Bridge Park keeps getting better. Hi, I'm Regina Meyer, president of Brooklyn Bridge Park, and we're thrilled to welcome visitors to the brand new Pier 5. Come play on our 5-acre sports field, barbecue on grills at the Picnic Peninsula, or take in the breathtaking views of Lower Manhattan from the Promenade. There's more to come later this year when the Pier 2 sports courts make their debut. Check out brooklynbridgepark.org or call 311 for further information. Can't wait to see you at the park.
Hola, yo soy Adrienne Bailon. Tener una identificación oficial puede ser clave para tu éxito. ¿Quieres abrir una cuenta bancaria? ¿Solicitar un trabajo? Vas a necesitar una identificación oficial para hacer cualquiera de estas cosas. Puedes conseguir una identificación estatal para no conductores y solo cuesta $10. Pero para conseguir una identificación hay unas cosas que vas a necesitar. Visite nyc.gov y busque ID para empezar.
I'm Rob Walsh, Commissioner of Small Business Services.
And I'm Terrence Holliday, Commissioner of the Mayor's Office of Veterans Affairs. Our veterans served our country, and we are proud to serve them.
If you're a veteran or a veteran spouse looking for a job, stop by the Workforce One Veterans Center at 60 Madison Avenue in Manhattan, or at any of the 15 centers in all 5 boroughs. We work with businesses committed to hiring veterans, which means we have jobs for you. For more information, call 311 or visit nyc.gov.
This is Mayor Mike Bloomberg. Remember to dial 311 for all New York City government services and information.
Home is the one place we all expect to be safe, but each day over 1,000 New Yorkers report an incident of domestic violence. Hello, I'm Commissioner Yolanda Jimenez of the Mayor's Office to Combat Domestic Violence. Victims and their children don't have to suffer in silence. If you or someone you know is a victim of family violence, help is available 24 hours a day in all languages by calling 311 and asking for the New York City Domestic Violence Hotline. In emergencies, call 911.
Hello, I'm Taxi and Limousine Commissioner David Yaski. Did you know that New York City taxicabs are required by law to take passengers anywhere in the 5 boroughs, or to Westchester or Nassau County, or to Newark Airport? In fact, a driver can't even ask where you're going before they accept the trip. So if a taxi driver refuses to serve you, call 311 or visit nyc.gov with the license or medallion number. With your help, the TLC is here to make sure you get where you need to go.
Hi, I'm Rob Walsh, Commissioner of the Department of Small Business Services. Figuring out what permits and licenses are needed in order to start and expand a business in New York City can be a challenging task. That's why we created New York City Business Express. It's a free one-stop website where business owners can access the information they need to open up shop. You can apply online for many permits, settle outstanding fines, and find incentives to lower the cost of doing business. Visit nyc.gov or call 311 and ask for NYC Business Express.
This is Mayor Mike Bloomberg. Remember to dial 311 for all New York City government services and information.
Soy Iris Jiménez Hernández, vicepresidenta de HHC, su sistema de hospitales públicos. Este Día de las Madres, dele a su mamá el mejor regalo, una cita para una mamografía. En HHC ofrecemos mamografías a muy bajo costo o sin costo durante todo el año. Visite nuestro sitio web o marque el 311 para el hospital público más cercano.
Hi, this is New York City Transportation Commissioner Jeanette Sadekhan. For most New Yorkers, our 6,000 miles of streets are our front yards, so we're doing everything we can to make them as safe, attractive, and as sustainable as they can be. By keeping our roads and bridges in good repair, building new public plazas and bike lanes, we're creating world-class streets for a world-class city. Please help us keep our streets safe and smooth by calling 311 to report potholes and other traffic concerns in your neighborhood.
This is Carter Strickland, Environmental Protection Commissioner for New York City. Every day, 9 million New Yorkers rely on DEP to deliver 1 billion gallons of the world's best drinking water to their homes and businesses. Renowned for its purity and taste, our tap water comes by gravity from the Catskills, 125 miles away, making it the right choice for your health and the environment. Look for our New York City Water on the Go fountains throughout the 5 boroughs and learn more about New York City's water supply at nyc.gov. New York City Water, the right choice for the environment, your health, and your wallet. This is Carter Strickland, Environmental Protection Commissioner for New York City. Our restaurant scene is one of the best in the world, serving millions of New Yorkers and tourists every year. If you run a restaurant or food service business, remember to properly empty your grease traps. Pouring grease down the drain or into a city catch basin is illegal and can cause significant costly sewer backups. For a description of grease regulations and information regarding proper disposal methods, visit nyc.gov.
You're listening to Radio NYC.
What better way to get some outdoor exercise than rolling up your sleeves and helping care for Brooklyn's Prospect Park? Hi, I'm Emily Lloyd, president of the Prospect Park Alliance. Volunteering at Prospect Park offers many exciting ways to make a difference in the lives of all who benefit from the park. Individuals, families, students, and retirees can all have fun and learn something while helping the park. We provide the training and equipment. You decide how much time you can spare. For more information, call 311 or go online to nyc.gov, and I hope I'll see you soon in beautiful Prospect Park.
Hi, this is Sanitation Commissioner John Doherty. Please use street litter baskets for your candy wrappers, fast food containers, empty coffee cups, for everything except recyclables. Remember, never use litter baskets for garbage from your home or business. That's not what they are there for. Above all, don't litter. For more information on how you can help keep New York City clean, call 311. Let's work together to keep our streets clean.
Hi, this is Vincent Schiraldi, Commissioner at the New York City Department of Probation. Did you know that state law prohibits unfair discrimination against job applicants with a criminal conviction? Did you also know that the city has taken special steps to ensure that job applicants with a criminal conviction are treated fairly? It's true. For example, there are many job postings where city agencies are prohibited from asking about an applicant's criminal history before or during the first interview. So don't let your past define your future. Consider applying for a job with the city or one of our hundreds of partners. To find out more about what this change in policy means for you, visit nyc.gov.
Hi, I'm Rob Walsh, Commissioner of Small Business Services. If your small business was impacted by Hurricane Sandy, the city is ready to help. We have an emergency loan providing up to $25,000. We can also help businesses apply for federal assistance to up to $2 million. And there are other ways we can help. If your business has been displaced, we can set up free temporary space. And we could also assist in answering insurance questions or replace permits lost during the storm. For more information, go to nyc.gov, call 311, or visit a business solutions center located in any of the 5 boroughs.
This is Mayor Mike Bloomberg. Remember to dial 311 for all New York City government services and information.
Hi, I'm Seth Diamond, Commissioner of New York City's Department of Homeless Services. Homeless Services can connect you or someone you know who is at risk of homelessness to the DHS Home-Based Program, our one-stop for homelessness prevention, or one of our free law offices. We have over 30 service centers located in the 5 boroughs. To learn more about community-based prevention services that can help New Yorkers prevent eviction and avoid shelter, call 311 or visit nyc.gov.
Hi, I'm Deputy Mayor Carol Robles Roman. New York City is the safest big city in the nation, and we're leading a fight against human trafficking, a terrible crime where people can be forced or tricked into working in harsh conditions, often for no pay. If you are a victim or know someone who is, call 911. For more information, call 311 or go to www.nyc.gov. Let's call an end to human trafficking.
This is Sanitation Commissioner John Doherty, reminding you to leash and pick up after your dog. Be considerate to your fellow New Yorkers when walking your dog in the street or in a park. Obey the Pooper Scooper law and avoid a $250 fine. If we all do our part, we can keep New York City clean. Remember, be a responsible pet owner and always pick up after your dog.
I'm Kate Levin, Commissioner of the Department of Cultural Affairs. New York City is the creative capital of the world. Throughout the 5 boroughs, residents and visitors benefit from an extraordinary cultural community that includes more than 700 theater and dance companies, 650 galleries and museums, 96 orchestras, 24 performing arts centers, 5 zoos, 4 botanic gardens, and 1 aquarium. So take in an exhibition, see a performance, or visit a historic site. There's something for everyone, and it's all just around the corner.
You're listening to Radio NYC.
Hello, this is Commissioner Jimenez from the Mayor's Office to Combat Domestic Violence. People with disabilities are more likely to experience violence at the hands of an intimate partner. New Yorkers with disabilities should not feel alone. Support is available. In New York City, all victims of domestic violence, regardless of their language, immigration status, or disabilities, are offered services to help them regain control over their lives. If you or someone you know is being abused, please call 311 for help.
Hi, this is Dr. Tom Farley, New York City's Health Commissioner. One thing that all New Yorkers can do for their health is to know their HIV status. If you've had sex, even once, you should get tested for HIV. If you're HIV positive, you can get medical care to help you feel better and live longer. If you're HIV negative, you can stay that way. Your regular healthcare provider can give you an HIV test. Free HIV tests are also available at health department clinics in all 5 boroughs. For clinic locations and hours, call 311 or visit nyc.gov.
Hi, I'm Adrienne Bailon. Having an official ID is one of the keys to success. Want to open a bank account? Apply for a job? Register for college soon? You'll need an official ID to do any of these things. Don't drive? Don't worry. You can get a non-driver state ID, and it only costs about $10. But in order to get an ID, there are a few things you'll need, and we're here to help. Go to nyc.gov and click on or search ID to get started.
This is Mayor Mike Bloomberg. Remember to dial 311 for all New York City government services and information.
Hola, me llamo Ana y trabajo en el Departamento de Asuntos al Consumidor. A veces puede ser abrumador para administrar su dinero, pero los centros de poder financieros de la ciudad pueden ayudarle a tomar control brindándole asesoramiento financiero profesional, gratuito e individual, ofrecido en toda la ciudad en diferentes idiomas. Nuestros consejeros pueden ayudar a reducir su deuda, preparar un presupuesto, abrir una cuenta bancaria segura y mucho más. Visite nyc.gov para encontrar el centro más cercano o llame al 311 para pedir una cita ya.
This is Carter Strickland, Environmental Protection Commissioner for New York City. A fire hydrant is a familiar sight in the city. There are more than 109,000 of them citywide. Summer in New York can be hot, but please don't open fire hydrants to cool off unless you have an approved spray cap. Illegally open hydrants can reduce the water pressure needed to fight fires and endanger people's lives. Instead, get a spray cap.
Mayor, before we start, let me take a question or two from the press board after.
Anybody has any questions? Yes, Miss.
Can you tell us where you were yesterday morning and why you chose not to visit the scene of the train derailment?
Well, the question for us, I think, in any emergency situation is, did our government agencies perform well? And did they have certain responsibilities, and did they fulfill those responsibilities? And I don't think there's any question, but the answer to that is yes. The response from our men and women in uniform was outstanding, and it's my job to make sure that our police officers and firefighters and EMTs are well-led, well-trained, well-equipped to do the job, and they are. And I think they prove it time and time again, and they did so again yesterday. It was a very tragic event, but I don't think there's any question that our first responders saved lives, and that's really what matters.
What do you mean by viola?
Do you have a real question? Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor, there's been reports that you were golfing during the day in Bermuda yesterday. Is that something that folks should be concerned about? Should you have been here instead of in Bermuda?
Just have to check the public schedule for where I am at any point in time, and it'll certainly tell you anything that's germane to the job. Yes, sir.
Do you have any regrets at all about how it was handled?
No, what my understanding is that, and I think Tom Pendergast said exactly the same thing, that, and I got a call from Washington, from the Department of Transportation. It was a textbook kind of response. This is exactly what we train for. This is why the public spends its money, to have the best police department, the best fire department, and the best officer of emergency management. And they did exactly what you would want. And they did save some lives. Yes, sir.
Yes, you've said repeatedly that you have 24 hours communication. You're always the mayor. Why did it take you so many hours to send out that tweet?
Because the mayor doesn't send a tweet.
I didn't tweet anybody. Maybe my staff did, but you can rest assured that I did not. Right. When I was informed about the train wreck, I don't know, it was in minutes or 20 minutes, half an hour after it happened, and was in constant communications with my commissioners who are there to do the job. They're supposed to show up, and they're supposed to do it, and that's exactly what they did. And I don't think there's any other city that could have done the kind of job that we did. That's the bottom line. We have the best, and they did exactly what we want. You want to go to a bill signing? Yeah, sign some bills. That's why we're Gail. Okay. Oh, we're making history. Do we want to introduce the Tuskegee Airmen first? You know, I'm a pilot too, and my hat's off to you. I don't think anybody. I don't know what I would do in combat when I fly. It's hopefully nobody's shooting at me, but you guys help this country preserve democracy, and we are all in your debt. We have Audley Coulterhouse, Dabney Montgomery, Wilfred R. DeFleur, and William Johnson with us today. And now, I won't ask anybody their age, but I was born in 1942, shortly after America entered World War II. You were serving, so you must be older than me. But only a smidge, only a touch. Oh, Mr. DeFore is 95 years old? Sounds young to me. My mother actually, before she died, told me she remembered World War I. She remembered as a girl going to buy flags for Armistice Day. It was a very patriotic time, and everybody had to have their own flag to wave on Armistice Day. And that was a very long time ago. But there's nobody left from that war. There aren't that many left from World War II. But I think we have to make sure we remind our children that there was a whole generation of Americans and of people around the world that went out and fought tyranny, and we are the beneficiaries of it. And our great obligation is to remind our kids that freedom is not free. And we have, sadly, too many of our young men and women, even today, who are called to go overseas and to fight for this country. Thank God, when the rest of us are running away from danger, there are people, whether it's soldiers, sailors, Marines, whatever, going overseas, or it's our police officers or firefighters or others here in the streets of our city. They run into danger when we run out, and we're all beneficiaries of it. Anyways, welcome. We're going to sign some laws here, which the first of 11 bills before us today is introductory number 1011, sponsored by Council members Wills, Chin, Comrie Dickens, Eugenie, James, Capel, Lander, Neely, Mendez, Nelson, Palmer, Williams, Rodriguez, Mark Viverito, Vaca, Gentili, Van Bremer, Barron, Brewer, and Halloran. And this bill permanently changes the name of South Road between Merrick Boulevard and Remington Street in Queens to Tuskegee Airmen Way. The Tuskegee Airmen, they were African-American pilots who fought in World War II, and they were the first African-American military aviators in the United States Armed Forces, and we're honored to have them here today. I did want to thank the City Council for approving this legislation and turn the bills over to its sponsors. Would you like to say something first? Okay, so Ruben, go first.
I would like to thank the mayor for signing this into legislation today. The Tuskegee Airmen made history as being the first African Americans to fly. There was a report that was brought up in the hearing from the War Department that actually said that African Americans did not have the physical capabilities to fly. There were certain aspects of our brains that were too small to handle the G-forces, and that we weren't able to handle ourselves with discipline under extreme stress. And these men faced extreme racism, not just racism, but the odds of nature and everything else were against them to come out and do something incredible. And to have them and have this small token in the city of New York, the greatest city of New York, to be named after them in my district is a complete honor. They came today and they all signed this book that my office made up, and they wanted me to present this to you, Mr. Mayor, to tell you thank you very much for signing it. This road now actually divides South Jamaica houses, which has traditionally been one of the roughest neighborhoods in the city, from York College, our University of Higher Learning. So now this will no longer divide it, but will bridge it and make sure that these young men and women that come from these neighborhoods of South Jamaica and others will now see that they can go past this and soar, just like you did, and go to college and obtain great things. So we thank you for coming down. We thank you for all of the work that you did. Pat, you've been a tremendous help. Ms. Montgomery is here. She's been a tremendous help in getting this thing done. And Mr. Mayor, you have solidified it, and you have made history today. We thank you so much.
You guys looked a little bit younger there. Not much, just a little bit.
I'm fine. Thank you very much, Mr.
Mayor. You really did make a big difference. And I think it's also fair to say that you changed the domestic fabric of our society by what you did overseas. And I've always thought that Harry Truman was a great president for standing up and understanding that all Americans have the capability, but also the responsibility to serve and to protect all of us. And so congratulations. I'm going to sign a bill, and we'll get a nice picture before we go on.
We'll get you all up there. We'll take some, Mr. Mayor, just 2 minutes.
Yep, just take your time.
Where were you born?
Where were you born?
Hi. Where were you born? I was born in Hartford, North Carolina, but I was raised in Glencoe. You still go to North Carolina. Very nice to see you again. Nice to see you. First, plane to see you. Okay, now we're going to get around here.
Absolutely. Quite a history. Yes.
This is our
And in the front seat.
No, but my mother was getting back to that school. She wrote on it, and she was writing it to him. But she don't remember. The left hand, this part of the hand was always covered with a soft ballpoint pen or smudge rustle paper, right, or a salt pen. Okay. You're welcome. Thank you very much. You're welcome.
He invited the council to this inauguration because of segregation of Kendall, so they threw their red tails over and didn't do it. They think very highly invested you.
The Truman Footy was the Marshall Plan, that Marshall Plan of World War I to World War II. And extending the tough thing. He was the government of MacArthur.
No. And he said that they had the nerve to fly in that bucket and ask for an air program in the black schools. He had the nerve to fight with them.
Well, I was up at West Point doing a speech, and Douglas MacArthur was one of the commandants at West Point, as was Robert E. Lee. Thank you.
down in the front of the room, guys. You haven't got it by now, guys. They're back.
We are joined today by a city councilman. He doesn't matter. Jim's going to talk for an hour and a half later on. But our borough-elect, congratulations. Thank you. The next bill before us is number 1111A, sponsored at the request of our administration by council members Delon, Comrie, Koo, Nelson, Rose, Wills, Rodriguez, Gentili, Van Bremen, Coppell, and Williams. Introductory number 1111A requires all newly installed smoke alarms to be tamper-resistant with a 10-year battery life. Today, many smoke alarms fail to work because their batteries have been removed or have not been replaced. These new widely available alarms are entirely self-contained and require no maintenance during the alarm's 10-year life. And once the 10-year life has expired, the alarm emits an audible alert signaling replacement is necessary. Smoke alarms installed prior to enactment of this law will be replaced by these safer alarms when the existing smoke alarm's useful life expires or, if unknown, within 7 years. We're honored to be joined here today by representatives of KIDA, one of the largest manufacturers of fire safety products in the world. Is it KIDI? Is it KIDA? KIDA? How is it pronounced? KIDA. KIDA has graciously offered to donate 20,000 combination smoke and carbon monoxide alarms using this new technology to the New York City Housing Authority, and I wanted to thank them for their generosity. So thank you very much. You're going to save lives, and hope it's good for your business, too. People should remember. I also want to thank Fire Commissioner Salvador Casano, Buildings Commissioner Robert Lamandry, Department of Housing Preservation Development Commissioner Ruth Ann Wisnauskas, and New York City Housing Authority Chair John Rayer and their staff for their work on this bill, along with my Office of City Legislative Affairs. And finally, I wanted to thank the City Council for approving this legislation. Gail, would you like to speak first?
I'm fine.
Jim?
Great bill.
Great bill. That's the shortest speech he has ever given. Would anybody else like to add anything? Come on. The next four bills before us today are a product of the Building Resiliency Task Force, an expert panel convened after Hurricane Sandy to outline steps to fortify New York City's buildings and strengthen building standards. Their report includes 33 recommendations that address resiliency in a wide range of buildings, including commercial buildings, multifamily residences, hospitals, and 1 to 3 family homes, and offer options to help existing buildings become more resilient and strengthen the city's building code and zoning resolution to ensure future construction meets the highest level of resilience. Introductory number 1092A is sponsored by Council members Lappin, Chin, Comrie, James Koo, Lander, Mendez, Richards, Rose, Gentili, Van Bremer, Rodriguez, Barron, Dickinson, Williams. This legislation requires secondary electrical power, heating and cooling systems for hospitals and adult homes, enriched housing, community residences, and intermediate care facilities where such occupancies are located in flood-prone areas. Introductory number 1093A is sponsored by Council members Levin, Chin, Comrie, James, Lander, Mendez, Richards, Rose, Gentili, Van Bremer, Rodriguez, Barron, and Williams. This legislation allows building owners to set up temporary flood barriers and staircases in front of their buildings. Barriers will require the approval of the Buildings and Transportation Department and cannot cut off points of egress at the buildings, but allow for occupants to exit around or over the barriers. Introductory number 1094A is sponsored by Council members Mendez, Brewer, Chin, James, Lander, Richards, Rose, Rodriguez, Arroyo, Mark Viverito, Gennaro, Barron, Van Bremer, Lappin, Gentili, Capel, and Williams. This legislation requires residential buildings to provide drinking water to a common area supplied directly through pressure in the public water main. One emergency fixture shall be provided for each 100 occupants. Introductory number 1101A is sponsored by Council members Vaca, Chin, James, Koo, Lander, Mendez, Recchia, Richards, Rose, Gentili, Van Bremer, Rodriguez, Greenfield, and Williams. This legislation introduces legally required standby power systems and optional standby power systems into the electrical code. Systems relying on fuel supplies other than natural gas can have on-premises fuel supply efficient for not less than 6 hours full demand operation of the system. Storage batteries can be used to provide power for emergency lighting within 10 seconds of a power failure. And I'd like to thank the Department of Buildings Commissioner Robert Lamandry, Department of Transportation Commissioner Jeanette Sedekhan, Office of Emergency Management Commissioner Joseph Bruno, Sergei Manovsky, Director of the Office of Long-Term Planning and Sustainability, Daniel Zarilli, Director of Resiliency at OLTPS, and their staff, along with the Office of City Legislative Affairs, for the work on these bills. I also like to thank the City Council for approving this legislation. Want to say something?
Yeah, briefly, please.
Please.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. My name is Dan Zarilli. I'm Director of Resiliency here at the Mayor's Office of Long-Term Planning and Sustainability. I offer my congratulations to the City Council for passing this important legislation to ensure the resiliency and safety of all New Yorkers. Thanks for granting me the opportunity to speak briefly. In the aftermath of Hurricane Sandy, Mayor Bloomberg convened a special initiative for rebuilding and resiliency to assess the impacts of the storm and to develop a plan called A Stronger, More Resilient New York that will bring New York back stronger than ever. This resiliency plan set forth a comprehensive set of initiatives, 257 initiatives in all, that include a multi-layered strategy to enhance our coastal defenses, strengthen our buildings, protect city infrastructure and critical services, and generally make neighborhoods safer and more vibrant. The 12 local laws before us today that have been enacted, to enhance the building code, and 4 laws before us today are important components of this multi-layered strategy. Hurricane Sandy itself inundated an area encompassing over 88,000 buildings, affecting nearly 500,000 residents and 250,000 jobs. Despite the widespread devastation, we learned that modern building codes work. Thus, the administration continues to work with the City Council and stakeholders to upgrade the building code to make our buildings and communities stronger. I'd like to thank the members of the City Council and the staff for their hard work on bringing this to us today. I'd like to also acknowledge the Urban Green Council and the Building Resiliency Task Force for all their volunteer efforts and expertise, and many, many thanks to the staff at city agencies who worked tirelessly to enact this sound legislation. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Say something?
I'm with Dan.
Way to go.
Me too.
This is getting easier by the minute. Well, the next one, there'll be 10 speakers, right? I'll be happy to sign it.
Good, Brian. Get up. You deserve 2 pens. And a picture.
Okay. The next bill before us today is introductory number 1047A, sponsored by council members Gennaro, Arroyo, Barron, Brewer, Comrie, Eugenie, Fiddler, James Koo, Capel, Mark Viverito, Mendez, Richards, Rose, Williams, Wills, Rodriguez, Levin, Gentili, Lander, and Ulrich. Heating oils are a major source of air pollutants in New York City. Large portion of pollutants are generated by in-city emissions from vehicles and heating systems. This legislation requires that all number 2, number 4, and number 6 heating oil purchased for use in any building owned by the city shall not contain less than 5% biodiesel by volume. This legislation would not apply to heating oil purchased for emergency generators. Use of biodiesel blends significantly reduce particulate matter emissions and increases air quality. This requirement continues our aggressive approach to reducing soot and contaminants from city vehicles and buildings. In addition, the legislation requires the Department of Citywide Administration Services institute a one-year pilot program beginning in October 2014 that would require that at least 5% of city-owned buildings use B10 biodiesel. Within 6 months of the pilot's conclusion, the department will issue a report detailing the findings of the pilot and include recommendations for the use of B10 throughout the city's entire building stock. In addition to the pilot, the Office of Long-Term Planning and Sustainability, along with DCAS, will undertake a study to determine the feasibility of a citywide requirement that all buildings use 5% biodiesel. The report will be issued by April 1st, 2015. And I'd like to thank the Director of the Office of Long-Term Planning and Sustainability, Sergei Manovsky, Department of Citywide Administration Service Commissioner Edward Wells Handy, and their staff for working on this bill, along with my Office of City Legislative Affairs and the City Council for approving this legislation. Now?
Yeah, now.
Now.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is a great bill. There's just a little bit of a backstory, and why not? Local Law 43 of 2010. That was in combination with a bunch of other things that we did with the administration, to clean heating oil throughout the city, to get rid of number 6, to dramatically clean number 4 by having it have much less sulfur, working with the state to have them have much less sulfur in number 2, and by making all heating oil in New York City be a B2 blend. So the city's entirely B2, and in doing that, Mr. Mayor, we were able to create this great green industry, this biodiesel industry. Some representatives of the REG are here. We're grateful to have them here. So we did that, and now we have the supply, and we can certainly take city buildings to B5, which is what the law that we're talking about today is going to do. We're also going to pilot B10, like the mayor said, and we're also going to require at the Office of Long-Term Planning and Sustainability do a report by which they will have to make a recommendation on whether the whole city should go to B5. And in doing this, this has been great for our greenhouse gas reduction program, the best in the country. And anytime you reduce greenhouse gases, you're also reducing, the so-called criteria pollutants, which, send kids to emergency rooms with all kinds of asthma attacks. And so this has really been great, and to work with your staff, Mr. Mayor, has been terrific. To work with the industry, there was parts of the oil heating industry that at first weren't in love with heat, but they have come to love it, and it's been a great green industry that we've grown, and we're really leading the way. And other folks around the country are copying what we're doing. Special shout out to Keith Kerman. Is that Keith Kerman? He's the DCAS guy that does really, really great work on this, and I'm just grateful to you, Mr. Mayor, for working with the people getting this done. Thank you. Bet.
Nothing?
Ditto.
Anybody else like to add anything? If not, I will thank you.
I forgot to mention, Samara Swanson was on. Yes, Council Committee, so
Absolutely. Oh, sure, please.
Next bill before us today is 132A, sponsored by Council members Brewer, Drom, Ferraris, James, Capel, Lander, Mark Viverito, Palmer, Rainier, Rodriguez, Rose, Van Bremer, Williams, Garodnik, Vaca, Jackson, Gentili, Lappin, Barron, Greenfield, and Halloran. Introductory number 132A requires the city's boards and commissions to digitally record their public meetings and websites and webcast them live where practical. These recordings will be archived and made available to the public on the city's website. And I'd like to thank the Mayor's Office of Media and Entertainment, Commissioner Catherine Oliver, and Department of Information Technologies, Commissioner Rahul Merchant, and their staff for their work on this bill, along with the City Office of Legislative Affairs and the City Council for approving this legislation. Would you like to say something?
Yes, I would. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you for scheduling this today. I want to thank Speaker Quinn and Technology Committee Fernando Cabrera, he's the chair, and all the staff of the City Council, particularly Rob Newman and Colin Howe and Will Colgrove, who's the Budget and Legislative Director in my office. There are also some wonderful advocates who have pushed this legislation, some of whom are here today. Dick Dady, Alice Camarda, and Rachel Faust from Citizen Union. John Caney and Dominic Mora from Maria Van Albany, Jean Roshanoff from NYPIRG, Frank Herbert from Open Plans, Noel Hidalgo and Avi Numani from Code for America, and many others. It's a really great group because it includes the folks who've been working on good government for many years and the folks who've been working on technology most recently. And this is legislation that I first introduced 2007. I think, as the mayor indicated, it would bring an unprecedented level of transparency to government. The City Council now webcasts, and we get a lot of positive feedback. And I want to indicate the great work of the Taxi and Limousine Commission in terms of webcasting. The minute I mentioned this bill, Yaski is always on top of everything. He texted me and said, "Gail, don't forget us. We do it already." The webcasting of public meetings opens up government to the public, as I think we know, and many meetings take place during the day, so this is an example where people can watch them and participate even though they can't attend. New York City would be also demonstrating its continued dedication to municipal transparency and the positive way that technology can play a role in that. I think as a body, we hold more public meetings than any other agencies at the City Council, and it's been a big plus. So I think, like all of you, I'm a believer in transparency, technological innovation, as the mayor believes, and it's led to a smarter, more accountable population and our government, and this bill would make a big step toward bringing government to the people. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, thank you. We have three speakers: Dick Dady of Citizens Union, Jean Russinoff, New York Public Interest Research Group, and Noel Haldilgo from Beta NYC Code for America. Gentlemen.
Mr. Mayor, we're pleased to see this day arrive and to thank Councilmember Gail Brewer for her leadership that began back in 2006, and Citizens Union was very pleased to begin working with her many years ago on this important effort to increase transparency in city government. It's wonderful that you will be signing this bill today. We thank the Office of Media and Entertainment, who has also worked very closely with the advocates and the City Council in developing this piece of legislation and figuring out how it's going to be applied. And New Yorkers are going to benefit greatly from this. Those who are most interested in government but can't attend the public meetings that take place will now be able to tune in and see government function. And in that way, we'll be able to hold government more accountable and make democracy work for all New Yorkers. Thank you.
Jane?
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor and Councilmember Brewer and Councilmember Gennaro. I'll be brief. We're strong supporters of Intro 132A. And just before coming here, I had a chance to sneak into Star's Pizza at the corner of Church and Murray Street. And believe it or not, I walked in and they had a big monitor up on the wall, and they were showing the Council Committee on Finance. And I thought to myself
people
that
can still eat as they watch that.
Yeah, and I thought to myself, now people all over the city, pizzerias in all 5 boroughs will be able to see city government in action. And so I think today's bill is a very strong one. Thank you.
Hi. Thank you, Mayor, and the Council's leadership for making New York City the best 21st century city. For democratic government to truly embrace openness and participation in person and online, open meetings are a necessity. And today, all New Yorkers and advocates gain one more tool toward that. I look forward to the next speaker embracing these bills that you have set forth and making the city truly by the people for the 21st century. So thank you very much.
Great. Anybody else? If not, I'll be happy to sign the bill.
Will?
Yes, very well.
The first of the final three transportation-related bills before us is introductory number 904A, sponsored by Council members Levin, Lappenlander, Vakachin, Comrie, Drum, Eugenie, Fidler, James, Gentili, Koo, Capel, Koslowitz, Rose, Williams, Greenfield, Van Bremer, Rodriguez, Barron, and Halloran. This legislation requires the city's interagency roadway safety plan required by local law 12 of 2011 to be updated every 5 years. Regular updates of the plan will enable the Department of Transportation to update the City Council on the progress of their important initiatives. Next is introductory number 1155A, sponsored by Council members Ignazio, Otto, Jackson, James, Koo, Wills, Rodriguez, Gentili, Van Bremer, Barron, Greenfield, Capel, and Williams. This legislation allows motorists to enter a lane dedicated exclusively for buses if they'll be making a right-hand turn at the next intersection. And finally, introductory number 234A is sponsored by Council members Vaca, Chin, Drum, Fidler, Capel, Nelson, Rodriguez, Koo, and Van Bremer. Introductory number 234A consolidates 4 taxi and limousine commission advisory bodies into one 24-member omnibus board. The new TLC advisory board includes drivers and owners of all TLC's regulated industries, as well as advocates for the environment, people with disabilities, and members of the City Council. And I'd like to thank Department of Transportation Commissioner Jeanette Sedekan and Taxi and Limousine Commissioner David Yaski and their staff, along with my Office of City Legislative Affairs, for their work on these bills. I'd also like to thank the City Council for approving this legislation. Would you like to say something? This is one of the best bill signings that you and I have ever attended. No, seriously, all kidding aside, this happens to be one of the hardest working City Council people. He also really understands what he's talking about, and we are lucky to have him. I wouldn't say that if he could hear, but he wasn't listening.